We're back, baby. Follow, like, subscribe. Let's get this shit show going.
He farted.
Disconnect between the head coach and the GM.
Because
and
nobody
when you
sees
have
Howie's vision.
no, Howie's a freaking moron, and there's a reason why.
Howie, you got a moron.
Are you never gonna let me freaking talk? God damn, bro!
And we are back, and welcome to another episode of Birds, Beers, and BS here on the AAT Sports Network. We are your hosts, Pina, alongside myself, equal Jeff Warner, and you want to get involved, make sure you're following, liking, subscribing to all our social media platforms, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and then also make sure that you're leaving your comments in the comment section of what we're talking about, your thoughts on the Eagles, thoughts on the show. We always love listener participation, but Peanut, we have a great show in store for everyone here today. A lot to get into over the last couple weeks. The Eagles did sign a linebacker. We'll get into that a little bit later on. Also, the Eagles made a big trade last week, which will shape up the atmosphere of the upcoming NFL draft. But first, we have to pay some bills, ladies and gentlemen. We have a lot of great sponsors to get to. We like to thank our sponsors, Stuff to the Grills in Allentown. You can check out their website for the full menu, stufftothegrills.com, or you can order by calling 484-274-6760. A lot of great food there, offering a unique twist on traditional sandwich shop, homemade hot and cold sandwiches, salads, appetizers, and baked goods. Again, they are available for takeout, curbside. They have some take-home dinner kits, so make sure to check them out. They are tremendous food. I don't know if anyone's a big fan of like the Permane Brothers sandwich. They have their own version of that, and it is absolutely phenomenal. So make sure to check them out. Again, Stuff to the Grills in Allentown. They are off Iroquois Trail in the Old Town Shopping Center. StuffToTheGrills.com for the full menu and their weekly specials.
Tell them we sent y'all.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Vinny's Pizza and Restaurant in Allentown as well. They're in the same shopping center. They are available for order for takeout or delivery at 610-395-2300 or vinnyspizzapa.com. Again, vinnyspizzapa.com or by ordering 610-395-2300. They have incredible food as well. They offer you Italian cuisine, including pasta, burgers, sandwiches. They have game day specials. They have seafood. They have wings. It's a great atmosphere. Good for kids. You want to go in, take the kids out to dine out. Definitely a great place. Caesar, great guy, and tremendous food as well. So again, we like to thank them as a sponsor of the AAT Sports Network. So make sure you support them. So support our sponsors, help supports us. So everyone always asks us, oh, how can we help the podcast? Besides sharing out to your friends, besides following our social medias, it's helping the local sponsors that help support us. So again, please make sure you support our sponsors, Vinny's Pizza and Restaurant and Stuff to the Grills. They are both located in the Old Town Shopping Center off of Iroquois Trail, considered in Allentown.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to also thank our sponsors, Symbol.com. You can use our promo code AAT Sports to sign up for that. Different fantasy games, so make sure to check them out. Also, StatementGames.com for a fun, free twist on fantasy sports. Visit them at StatementGames.com. And also our friends, Triple Threat Wagers. You can follow them on Twitter at Triple Threat Bets, no I in the triple. And visit them at TripleThreatWagers.com. If you want some insight on the gambling scene from a professional bookie, he's the guy to go to. So,
and he won't break your legs.
No, he won't break your legs. But look, Peanut, I would say it's been a crazy couple of weeks since we last spoke here on Birds, Beers, and BS. And look, we had a critical, huge trade between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New Orleans Saints involving multiple draft picks, where the New Orleans Saints doubled up on the first-round picks in this year's NFL draft, and here was the compensation. The Saints received 2 2022 first-round picks from the Eagles, number 16 and number 19, and a 2022 sixth-round pick, the number 194, while the Eagles received a 2022 first-rounder. So essentially the Eagles moved back on one of those picks to number 18. A 2023 first-round pick next year, a 2024 second-round pick, plus an extra third in this year, the number 101 in the draft, and a seventh-round selection. So, look, I know a lot of people were up in arms about it. Some were against it. Some were for it. Peanut, I want your thoughts. Do you think that the Philadelphia Eagles won out in this trade?
Absolutely. Absolutely, they won out. If you think about it, Howie wasn't going to take all 3 first rounds anyways. So to get another first round pick for next year, which gives us 2 in the first round, and basically swapping one of the first rounds with the Saints, yeah, man, I think Howie worked his magic. This is what Howie does best, though, when it comes to stuff like this, the draft picks and the behind the scenes deals. Howie's a genius when it comes to stuff like that. I think in all, like. Yeah, I think basically wonderful move by Howie Roseman. Hollywood Howie Roseman is doing his thing so far. What do you think? You don't think it was a bad deal, do you?
Look. No, look, I don't think it was a bad deal. Howie's working his magic, and I agree with you. We brought it up on this show plenty of times before that the Eagles were not going to use all 3 first-round picks. I expected something like this to happen, but I did not expect it this soon. Okay. I kind of expected them to either use in the draft, depending on the way the draft board fell. If they felt one of the guys fell too far, or a guy that they were eyeing at one of those picks, or their guys got taken off the board very quickly. Right. And they didn't want to use all 3 first-rounders, move back a little bit. And then,
you know what it does too? It buys Howie some wiggle room. You know what I mean? Like by trading that first round.
I don't think it buys him some wiggle room. It's essentially Howie is here. We learned a couple weeks ago that he indeed signed a new 3-year contract to be the Philadelphia Eagles GM, which
I'm okay with it.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm okay with it.
I'm all right. I'm not a Howie enthusiast.
Yeah, you are.
Yes, I am.
You love fucking Howie.
Listen, I like the way Howie. Now, there's negatives about Howie. You know what I mean? His drafting hasn't been great. His meddling hasn't been great at certain times. But when it comes to wheeling and dealing, Howie seems to be the guy to go to. He's good at what he does, at what he's supposed to do.
The Eagles are always involved, and no doubt about that. But the one thing Howie, and I don't want to turn this into a Howie bashing, praising situation at this moment in the conversation.
I'm not bashing Howie.
But I'm not bashing him either. But we know how I strongly feel about Howie.
Yeah.
But he won us the Super Bowl. But the guy that gets all the credit for being a cap manager and great with the cap has screwed us in the end.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Right, especially over the last couple of years. You look at what they're doing with restructuring contracts, signing guys to 1-year deals, now trading a first-round pick this year because they can't afford 3 first-round pick contracts, because also you have to look long-term also.
Right.
When it comes to the first round, you get that extra 5th-year option.
Yeah.
So if the Eagles don't want to risk having 3 great players, I guess, and having to extend them all at the same time and putting them in cap hell even further down the road.
Stagger it.
I get it. Also, the way the draft is unfolding, or at least when it comes to the mock drafts, a lot of the picks that the Eagles were sort of possibly eyeing right now, we agree. The Eagles need another pass rusher.
Absolutely.
And right now, I believe most mock drafts, you have, I think, 4 premier pass rushers going in the top 10, maybe top 12. Okay. So I kind of think the Eagles are in that situation where they feel that a lot of the guys that they were going to be eyeing won't be there at some of these picks. And what this pick also does, granted, the Eagles are still looking at quarterback position. We keep on hearing their name with all these upcoming draft prospects that they are hosting upcoming pre-draft workouts and having invitations and things like that. And they're eyeing all these quarterbacks. Right. But right now, this pick, unless something magically happens, it buys not only like you said buys Howie Roseman time,
Right.
it buys Jalen Hurts time with the Philadelphia Eagles, and this move just strongly it solidifies that expectation that Jalen Hurts is your franchise not franchise quarterback. He's your starting quarterback in 2022. That they are not going to be looking to upgrade the quarterback position. The fact that they lost out on Deshaun Watson, they lost out on Russell Wilson. Aaron Rodgers stayed with the Green Bay Packers. So all the premier quarterbacks that they possibly had to give up one of those first-round picks for is now gone. And now you have an opportunity to potentially get another top 5, top 10 pick next year with the New Orleans Saints. Because nothing against the New Orleans Saints. Right now, their team is an abomination.
Abomination?
Look, what do they have?
They
got
a solid defense. They got Kamara.
Kamara might be getting suspended depending on what happens with that whole legal allegation.
Who's it? Jameis Winston, their starting quarterback?
Yeah, and then Sean Payton leaves.
Sean Payton left,
So, look, it's not one of those things which anything
abomination. I mean, come on, that's a strong word.
Anything can happen. we kind of expected the Colts or the Dolphins that sucked crap this year.
Dolphins look like they did.
And look what happened. They ended up being mid-round picks anyway. But when it came to the actual draft or the compensation in this trade, I feel the Saints won, but I feel the Eagles won even more.
You know what? It's a win-win situation for both teams if you think about it. And you're right. With all those defensive guys going up front, and who's to say a quarterback doesn't fall that they might want? So that would be a scary situation. But I mean, we have other needs. We have linebacking needs. We have safety needs. We have cornerback needs. There's so many different holes you could fill up with those first 2 picks. So I think Howie's logic in this situation, and I might be wrong because sometimes he throws a curveball. You know what I mean? That's happened. Excuse me. That was brought to you by Heineken. I think like, if everything plays out the way it's supposed to, Howie feels like no matter who's going to be there at that position, it's going to be a good pick, depending on who they have on their board. So why would you trade up for a quarterback if you feel like a quarterback might fall? Why would you trade up when there's so much talent in this first round? Stick with the picks. Get your next pick for next year. You're not going to take all 3 anyways, and then you don't have to make that pick on draft day, which is usually like stressed out and with the timer on. You know what I'm saying? Make sure all that's mapped out so he can go back to Mr. Lurie and say like, look, this is my plan. If this doesn't work out, look, I have this for next year, and this is my plan B. You know what I'm saying? So if Jalen Hurts comes out and stinks to join up, you know, don't fret. Next year we'll go out and we'll get our quarterback.
But there's no guarantee that you're going to have a quarterback next year. It just buys like you said, it buys Howie and buys Eagles more time to figure out what they're going to do with the quarterback position and try to give Jalen Hurts that chance. I kind of feel Lurie and Howie feel that they don't have to, but they feel that they have to give Jalen an opportunity with some weapons. Devontae Smith in his sophomore season this upcoming year.
Right.
Who knows? They still might be able to go out there and get a veteran wide receiver via trade. I'll say either it's A.J. Brown or DK Metcalf, who have been rumored.
DK Metcalf ain't coming here.
He's not coming here, but
I would love him.
You never know. You never know.
Yeah,
but
we don't have the money to entice him. You know what I'm saying? We don't have the team to entice him, and if you don't have the team to entice him, usually money will bring a guy like that over here.
Yeah,
we don't have either, so I don't see DK coming over. It's gonna be like a low level. It's gonna be like the Pascal signing was. You know what I'm saying? Watch.
Well, no. Why would you sign another guy similar to Pascal or what you already had with Quez Walker? You're not going to bring another wide receiver unless you can make some significant upgrade over what you have. And the Eagles, honestly, they have to strongly think about what they want to accomplish this upcoming season besides the wins and loss and making the playoffs and all that, because obviously that's the ultimate goal, is to win football games and win a championship. But what you want to learn the most this upcoming offseason is what you have with Jalen Hurts, and why would you not try to assemble a quality roster and a quality offensive team around your quarterback to see what he can do when he has weapons?
I feel like they have those pieces.
Do they?
No, I mean, I don't think they have those pieces. I feel like they have those pieces.
They don't.
Because when they mention shit like Quez Watkins, and I'm like, all right, Quez Watkins is a solid 3.
You have to understand, they're going to say that. They're not going to openly say that this player sucks. He's not a starting wide receiver in this league.
Right.
Because otherwise, one, it looks bad on management and the front office that they're going to openly bash and criticize a player.
Right.
And two, they want that confidence boost, or if they decide they want to trade one of these guys, whether it's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside or Jalen Reagor or maybe someone down the line, they're gonna go, a team's gonna go and say, "Oh, well, you said he sucks. You said he can't do this. You said he can't do that."
7th-round pick.
It kills complete all leverage and when trade negotiations.
Yeah, that's true. I see what you're saying.
So
I get that.
Of course, they're gonna talk it up because they want to sell this to the fan base that these guys are NFL quality players to help your team win.
Right.
And nothing against Quez Watkins. I honestly don't feel we know what we have in him just yet either.
Right.
He has shown ability that he can be a playmaker. He brings that deep play threat. But we need more. We need someone that can take this offense to the next level. Yeah. And the fact that we were the number one rushing offense last year because we had no vertical passing game and no decent passing game, whether it was the quarterback, the banged up offensive line, the weapons around Jalen Hurts, whether it was the wide receivers or the tight end position, whatever it may be, it was a combination of it all. I want to go in the next season at full strength with no excuses that Jalen Hurts is whether he's the guy or not the guy after to the 2022 season.
That's a big ask to have, though, especially just I get what you're saying. Like, if you're not going to put anything around him, how do you see what he is? But you're asking to fill in way too many holes in that short of a time. And with that, not even enough money to do that.
Which is the money part I understand, which is why it's surprising that they gave up one of these first-round picks. Because, granted, they get an extra third, which they can use. Howie's a magician when it comes to the trade market.
Right. He's not great at, drafting.
Well, last season was probably his best draft on paper. Almost everyone contributed. We have some quality players that we expect to be productive members of this roster and this organization for years to come, hopefully.
I agree. I totally agree.
But, look, the fact that they gave up a first-round pick where the Eagles have a problem of hitting on later talent talent in general besides this past year's draft.
Right.
We haven't hit on the previous two first-round picks with J.J. Arcega-Whiteside and Jalen Reagor.
No. Wait, J.J. was it, second?
Or second.
Second-round pick? I might be wrong. I mean, I don't think he was a first-round
Whatever. He was, I think, a second.
Yeah,
He was saying the higher-round picks, the Eagles don't have a strong history of hitting on those.
Yeah,
so, but usually you have a better chance of hitting on those rather than the late round of the draft.
Absolutely.
So why would you give up one of those assets this year to build this team in a position of need? Because look, like you said, we have a lot of glaring holes still.
Yeah.
We still even though we signed Hassan Reddick, Josh Sweat, they gave a contract to, but we don't know what's going to happen after that or like with the rest of the team. Brandon Graham's coming off a major injury.
Right.
They bring back Derek Barnett, but unless he's shown that he hasn't lived up to the first-round hype. Yeah, they signed a linebacker, which we'll get into momentarily, but you still have weaknesses at the linebacker position.
Right.
You still need an opposite corner of Darius Slay.
Right.
They lost today. Officially, it was announced that Rodney McLeod is going to the Indianapolis Colts, so they lose the safety position there. You'll know they're going to bring back Anthony Harris or some of these, or Marcus. They have Marcus Epps on the roster. He's not someone that is going to turn heads and make you think that, hey, we have a quality defensive back in the back end of our defense that's going to stop opposing offenses.
No. Yeah, you're right.
And then you still have this unanswered question mark of who's really your number 2 wide receiver.
Yeah, that's a huge question mark. Well, look. If they would move Reagor and give what's his face? I'm sorry, Quez. If they would give Quez maybe a shot at it, when you have guys in there that don't deserve to be in that spot, I think that's one thing that we suck at. You know what I'm saying? Like, move that guy out, put someone else in there. Let's see what can happen. But yeah, I mean, basically what the front office is saying is we're not ready to compete yet.
I agree.
We are completely in a rebuild stage. We got lucky going to the playoffs last year.
It's a retool / slow rebuild because look, the major question mark, which is the most important position, if not just in football but all sports, is the quarterback position.
Absolutely.
And I feel that this trade and what they're doing, like we brought before, is buying Jalen Hurts more time to figure, and also them more time to figure out what the direction this organization is going to go. Because the fact that we were bottom half, and I believe in most passing categories last year, that's not gonna fly when it comes to Jeffrey Lurie. Jeffrey Lurie is known for loving high-powered offenses, especially passing the football, because that's the way the NFL has transitioned in today's NFL.
Did you see the playoffs last year?
Look at those quarterbacks play.
You see the playoffs.
You saw the quarterback
if
play.
If you're not throwing the ball the way they're throwing the ball, you're not winning the game.
No.
You could kill the clock by running the ball, but what happens when you have one play that goes the distance? That now you're back to square one. So not only Jeffrey Lurie, but I think the entire NFL is trending towards these kind of games where it's going to be balls in the air. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For a lack of a better term.
But there's still no certainty what's going to happen after this season because we might hope we get a top 10 pick. You hope that there's going to be a franchise level quarterback available there.
Right.
We thought that this season.
Yeah.
And look what happened. You have Kenny Pickett, you have Malik Willis, who probably going to go top 10. But does anyone really believe that they're going to be the next Tom Brady or Peyton Manning or Russell Wilson? We won't know for sure just yet, but no one thinks that they are the prototypical franchise quarterback that they can really be that next level guy.
Yeah.
And
I still think we're going to pick a quarterback, just not in the first 2 rounds. I feel like Howie's going to find a 3rd round quarterback. What do we got? Like 2 or 3 picks in the 3rd round? 2 picks. Yeah. He's going to pick a quarterback in the 3rd round. It's going to be like some Joe Schmo guy, with maybe a high ceiling, but I don't know, man. I think the trade was logical. I think the trade was it was a good trade to make without haste. It wasn't during the draft where you can make a mistake and maybe jump at something. And now he has 2. I'm just hoping he doesn't trade that second. You know what I mean? Like, let's not trade both of those picks. Let's use those picks.
I don't think he will. Well, he might. He might trade both those picks to move up in the top 10 if a certain one of the pass rushers drops to a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. But look, Howie's a magician. The fact that he was able to fleece the Saints the way he did, it's just for a fan base that wants to win now, and we come on hearing that this team wants to win now.
No, we don't.
The fact that they keep on pushing it down the road with these picks, it's just a little bit concerning because the division. The division on paper right now is very winnable, and I still think the Eagles are going to be contending for the NFC East. A lot can change from now to the start of the season.
Yeah.
But I want to be more than just contend for the NFC East. I want to be more than just a playoff team. We want this team we want this organization and this roster to go the next level. We want to see what Nick Sirianni can do. We saw what Andy Reid can do in his second season.
Yeah.
Playoff berth. They won a playoff game. They lost in the divisional round. The 3rd year, he took us to the NFC Championship game.
Facts.
I want to continue to see progression, and I want no excuses for anyone on this team or the coach or the front office that they said they did not assemble the roster well enough for them to compete. And then we can keep on having the same excuse down the line because they keep on pushing the cap, pushing contracts, pushing draft picks. This is a fan base that does not want to lose. We are not an organization, we're not a fan base that sits around and takes losing lightly. No. We are a passionate fan base that we want results, we want success, we live and die with our team no matter what, but we don't want to sit there and be miserable on Sundays. There's how many times the past couple seasons that we'll watch games at Peanut's house by halftime. See you guys, I'm going to bed, or I'm going downstairs. I'm turning the game off.
I walk away.
Yeah,
I walk away. Or by that point, I'm like drunk, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna go outside. But I get what you're saying. I think I see what you're saying, and I understand what you're saying. But we're so in the hole right now with lack of players, with lack of talent, for lack of a better word, that I think we're expecting too much out of it. And I think Howie, for the first time in a long time, he's usually a plug and play kind of guy. I mean, when we went to the Super Bowl, there were a lot of pieces that he plugged in that, got us to that Super Bowl. And I think he's trying to do something here where it's more homegrown and more organic. I don't know if it has anything to do with contracts or numbers or whatever's going on. I think he's taking a different approach to building a Super Bowl team, and a Super Bowl team that's going to last longer than a season. Because what happened after we won that Super Bowl was almost like a breakdown in what happened, like whatever they built up. You sign a bunch of aging players, contracts are disputed, and next thing you know, you're going into the next season without the pieces that you had to get you over the hump. So in this situation, I think he's trying to build from the ground up a Super Bowl team,
If
which
that- if
is
that-
a
if-
tall task to ask.
If
but,
that was the case, they wouldn't have traded that pick. But
well, they traded that pick because it's better to have 2 next year than 1 next year, especially if, say, the ship sinks this year. It puts Howie in a better position next year to make moves that he has to make. And mind you, is it like a scare? Like, are you scared and you're afraid that you're not going to be able to do it this year, or whatever? Or maybe you don't have faith in the quarterback the way the general man, or the way the owner does. You know what I'm saying?
I think it also gives them the ammunition, if for some reason another quality franchise veteran quarterback becomes available next year.
Yeah.
The Eagles are in a better position because they'll have the ammunition. Because this year now there's 8 because of the Saints, but before this, there were 7 teams with multiple first-round picks. We kept on talking about,
Right.
oh, the Eagles have the ammunition. The Eagles have all the compensation that they can get one of these guys. We weren't the only ones that had a lot of compensation. Yeah, I think we're the only ones with 3, but we weren't going to give up 3 first-round picks for a certain position.
Well, we still have ammunition. I mean, we could still trade that pick away. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could trade next year's first.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I got you.
I'm saying for next year, the fact
even this year.
This year they're not going to. All the franchise quarterbacks are gone. They're not.
Yeah. Franchise. I got you. Okay.
Come on, follow along.
Welcome to the shit show.
I know you have your tower of beer over here that you probably already half drank.
Get away from me. Get away from me, Jeffrey.
But look, and I would say the Eagles weren't finished. Besides that trade, they did sign a linebacker. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about the linebacker position as the Philadelphia Eagles signed local product from out of Emmaus High School, linebacker Kaiser White, to a 1-year contract.
Nice.
Look, Kaiser last year, coming off his best NFL season, he had 144 tackles, 2 interceptions, and 2 forced fumbles. The Eagles are hoping that White can end a run of disappointing free agent linebackers from Corey Nelson to Eric Wilson. The contract is believed to be roughly base salary, a little bit over $1 million, signing bonus about 1.5, and there's a bunch of incentives. It could be up to, I believe, up to a $5 million contract.
Nice.
So look, a short-term deal that potentially, if he lives up to the hype and continues the success that he had last year,
yeah,
he could be a guy that could be young enough. He's a young enough player that can provide what we need at the linebacking position. That's consistency and playmaking ability. And look, I understand that the San Diego Chargers last year, their defense was absolutely horrendous. So look at our defense. The fact that Alex Singleton, who was probably one of our worst linebackers, led us in tackles. I understand tackles isn't everything, but look, all I've been hearing about Kaiser White from experts, from former coaches, is he brings you he's a very focused player. He's a very determined player, a guy that had to build through the ranks. Like his older brother, Kevin White. They had to go through junior college, I believe, at like Susquehanna, and then went to West Virginia, and then eventually got drafted in the NFL. Granted, he wasn't a first-round pick like his cousin or his brother, Kevin. And then he has his other brother, K-Ron, who I was fighting for a roster spot on a couple teams the last couple of years. But look, they're a family of athletes. They are determined. They are athletic people. That he's a guy that brings you speed. He brings you the ability. I feel he's going to be a very good coverage linebacker, which is something that this defense has been missing. And he brings you the speed that he can open up a lot of things in Jonathan Gannon's defense. And something Jonathan Gannon was missing last year, and the reason why this defense was so stale and it had that same feel of a Jim Schwartz defense is the fact that he didn't have the personnel that I believe that he wanted to run his defense. The fact that they signed Hassan Reddick, a pass rusher. They get Kaiser White, who is a tackling machine, and he can be a playmaker in that second line of the defense, and he brings you that speed. We're going to see a lot of different looks and a lot of different schemes in Jonathan Gannon's scheme this upcoming season. The fact that they're getting these different players, I feel, to fit more his system.
Are we going to see more blitzes this year?
I'm hoping.
Are we going to see more blitzes? That's what I think. Jonathan Gannon's. I agree with you. I think his defense would work if he had the right pieces in place. But the problem that I have with Jonathan Gannon is when you play scared, you play scared. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're off the receive, and that's probably why Singleton, had so many tackles, was because people were catching the ball. They were catching the ball through the middle, no problem. And it was he wasn't covering them. He was just taking them down. So you're gonna have more tackles in that situation. But
yes and no. I would say because he wasn't just a guy in coverage. He's a 3-down linebacker, a guy that can play in coverage and play against the run.
I know.
And the fact that he had forced turnovers last season, it's more than what we had on our defense when it came to the linebacking core.
That's true. Oh, I'm not talking about White.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about Singletary.
Oh, you mean Singleton?
Singleton. Sorry, Singleton. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, I'm not talking about White at all. I'm talking about him.
Yeah.
So when tight ends are catching the ball through the middle, yeah, you're gonna have.
Oh yeah, he was a horrible. He was one of the worst coverage linebackers last season.
Exactly. So you're gonna have more tackles because they're catching the ball. But I like what they're doing on defense, and I feel like they're gonna. I feel like they're gonna focus more on defense than offense, which is probably gonna really piss everyone off. But it's a necessity. I mean, we were just making quarterbacks look like Hall of Famers, and they were just like average fucking people. Excuse me. That one smells better. Anyways, I don't know. I like what they're doing defensively. I think when you start putting the pieces in place, you can have that kind of defense, and maybe Jonathan Gannon will actually play more aggressive with the players that he needs to have in his system.
Yeah.
I don't know why that took so long to come out.
I have no
Holy
clue.
shit.
But yeah, look, the Eagles are making moves, whether it might not be the splashiest of moves, which that could still be coming. As it's been reported this week, the past couple of days from the likes of Mark Arafello, Ian Rappaport, that the Eagles could be in the running. The fact that they lost Rodney McLeod could be a sign that they are in the market to get a veteran safety.
Yeah.
The Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, who's still available on the free agent market, but according to reports, unless it's just agent driving up his price tag, that right now the Eagles and the Saints are the two teams that are probably the strong consideration to be the favorites to land the all-pro safety. And the fact that he had a virtual visit with the Eagles, and I believe he's supposed to have a visit, like an in-person visit and a workout, could be a sign that he might be our new starting safety this upcoming season. So keep on following AAT Sports Network and AAT Birds on all our social media platforms for the breaking news if that ever hits.
Yeah.
So make sure to follow us along for all the latest news when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles and more.
That's another bandage, though. I mean, the guy's 30 years old right now. You know what I'm saying?
Look, he's still a baller.
He's better than what we have. Don't get me wrong, but it's not a long-term solution. You know what I'm saying? So. I mean, that would be great. That would be real good, but I'm not having a parade.
Oh, I would have a parade over that, dude. I would have a parade over the Honey Badger. He is, look, something that we have been lacking since Brian Dawkins has left that position. Maybe Malcolm Jenkins filled that role quite a bit, but he still wasn't that.
He wasn't Doc.
He wasn't Doc. But look. He's a guy. He's about to be 30 years old in May, so yeah, he'll be on the wrong side of 30. I'm not saying give him a 5-6 year contract. Right. Give him a 2-3 year deal. A guy that can help fill a void at the safety position that we have had over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Anthony Harris was a joke. Look, Rodney McLeod, yeah, he helped us win a Super Bowl, but he's on his way out. He's been an aging veteran as well. So if the price tag is right, I'm okay with them. The Eagles bringing Tyrann Mathieu because
he's a smart player. He plays. You know what I'm saying. He's really good at what he does. I get that, but what I'm saying is like
the problem.
What are we doing?
Very undersized.
Are we getting rid of Kayvon Wallace?
Nope, he's still there.
Like, why? If we're drafting these guys, why aren't they seeing the field? That's what scares me the most.
Because Kayvon, when he got on the field, was actually fucking
atrocious.
They tried playing him as a safety. They tried playing him as like a cornerback.
Is he like a special teams guy now?
Pretty much. But look, yeah, Tyrann Mathieu the last couple seasons. This past year, he had 3 interceptions, 1 touchdown, 6 pass deflections as a safety. So he's a guy that makes some plays.
Make more plays than our guys did, that's for sure.
Absolutely. So, look, if the Eagles can land him, great. I still feel they need to address the safety position long term.
Yeah, so do I.
So maybe what the Eagles are doing right now with these moves, with signing Reddick, with signing Kaiser White, with possibly signing Matthew,
they're buying themselves time.
Well, they're not just buying themselves time; they're filling some holes relieving some of the pressure for them when it comes to draft day. Look, draft day is less than 3 weeks away, ladies and gentlemen. Less than 3 weeks away. It will be in Las Vegas Thursday night, first round, second round, Friday, second and third, and then the rest of the draft on Saturday.
Yeah.
The fact that the Eagles are bringing veteran talent.
They don't want to draft for need. They want to draft.
They want to draft best player available,
Yeah.
and a guy that could come in here to fill a void that they can develop properly without trying to force them on the field, I think, too quickly.
First round picks got to get on the field, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, get on the field, but you don't want to put all that pressure on them. Like, hey,
gotcha. Like, you're the guy.
You're the guy. Get out there. Unless opposite corner, but look, the Eagles have a lot of options, and it's going to be interesting what's going to happen between now and draft day.
Agreed.
And what's going to happen on draft day. Because, look, the Eagles are one of the busiest teams when it comes to draft day trades, whether trading back, trading for a player. The Eagles are always in the mix, and that's the only thing that sort of bugs me a little bit, especially when it came to a lot of the free agent guys or a lot of these trades. Yeah. Is you always heard the Eagles, but for some reason we can never pull it off. We can't afford them, or whether the Eagles are not a prime destination landing spot for a lot of these free agents or a lot of these players. It's concerning, and everyone wants to think the reason why these wide receivers aren't coming is because of the quarterback position, which hurts. Which a lot of people, Howie spoke on it, I believe, at the owners' meeting last week. Right. He doesn't feel that's the case. He kind of feels, look, teams are looking at the players that they already have on this team. You have Devontae Smith. Yep. You have Dallas Goedert. You have Quez Watkins. You have Miles Sanders. There's not enough balls for me, so whether that's true or not.
I mark that because I want that on repeat. There's not enough balls for me. Yeah, I agree with you, and you know what? I'm sorry, I agree and I disagree with you. I see what Howie's trying to say, but we don't look. Quest don't scare no one right now. You know, Smitty. I'm not gonna lie, potentially could be a great player, but he's still young. Dallas Goedert scares people probably because of his size and his imposing, basically his opposing size and his ability. But we need someone that's going to be able to distribute the ball to these people. And I think it all goes back to the quarterback. Well, that and the way this offense was ran. Yeah. We were the number one that way. We were the number one rushing offense last season for a reason. Because we had to be.
We had to be, and we don't throw the ball.
Well, because we can't.
We tried to.
we can't. And I'm not saying Hurts can't get better at what he does. I'm just saying that's what it was. The coach resorted to running the ball because that was our strong suit, and throwing the ball was our weakness. And there were moments where you would see Smitty like literally yelling at the quarterback, like, yo, throw it here. You know what I'm saying? Why are you throwing it there? So I hope he can fix that, but I see why receivers wouldn't want to come here right away. You don't want to be a top 10 receiver, come here and then drop to the bottom of the barrel. You know what I'm saying? So it's a tough ask to have those guys want to come to this team in the first place, which means we have to get younger. We have to find young players that are going to play here. And then we have to draft guys that are like just serviceable people. You know what I'm saying? Service, like Pascal. Who's this new? We signed basically a practice squad wide receiver.
Yeah, he's not making the team.
I didn't even know the fucking guy's name.
Last name Green. He's an Olympic skier, similar to Jeremy Blue.
God, it was like a Mailata project. They're like,
it's worse than it's nothing close. At least Mailata was a productive player for us.
That's when you know it's the off season. There's nothing really going on when you see 4 or 5 stories about a guy that you probably won't hear about.
Well, it's the dull point of the off season. Mm-hmm. Look, you had the first and second wave of free agency. Yeah, there's a couple players out there, but most of these guys, they're not going to sign until after the draft because teams want to see how their draft board falls, what picks they're going to get, and what positions they're eventually going to need to fill for the upcoming season. So it's going to be an interesting next couple weeks over the next couple months because then you have OTAs, you have training camp, and then we're right back in the swing of things with preseason and opening season of the football year.
Yeah, agreed.
So, yeah, I'll say, Pina, you have anything else you want to touch on? Say, whatever, anything else?
No, I'm looking forward to tomorrow's fight, UFC. My brother will be there. Shout out to Angel Rivera.
Must be freaking nice,
right?
We should have flew down and went with him.
I know. I guess that's the perks for living close to Jacksonville.
Yeah, because sorry, Philly doesn't get squat. We might get an MSG show, but those tickets are usually outrageous because it's a huge ass fight.
Yeah, we don't get none of that shit. But other than that, man, I'm looking forward to the weekend. I got some yard work. Me and my wife are going to work on. Hopefully, get our
You know,
gazebo up and running.
You know, you can come to my house and do some yard work.
I could,
but
I
you
don't
won't.
want to. I'd like to thank everyone that watches, everyone that supports us. The comments. Our last show got a bunch of comments. We appreciate it. We'll take hate too. I don't care. Anything that brings in traffic, hate, trollers. Shoot us on whatever you guys have to do, but anything helps us, and we definitely appreciate the support. Shout out to everyone in our local area. Shout out to our sponsors. Shout out to you, Jeff, sometimes.
Sometimes.
And shout out to you guys.
Yeah,
that's it.
Again, make sure you're sharing to your social media, to your friends. Send them a text like, hey, check out this show. If you guys enjoy it, your friends and family are going to enjoy it. Yeah. So, again, we want to get the word out about the AT Sports Network, and especially Birds, Beers, and BS. We have a lot of great things in the works and upcoming. So make sure you are tuning in and hitting that notification button so you get all the alerts and all the upcoming news in regards to the AT Sports Network and our programs on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. So make sure you are following, liking, subscribing, and commenting. We love, again, all our shows, listener participation. Most of our shows are live on those platforms. So we have various shows from Chips and Drip.
Yeah.
We have Burning Bridges every other Sunday currently. We have our Across the Pitch, our Union Soccer show. And, of course, we have the AT Birds Weekly Report on Wednesday. So, and also, if you are interested in being a part of the AT Sports Network, please reach out to us. We are looking for writers. We're looking for upcoming podcasters. If you have a passion for this and you want to get your name out there and get yourself out there, hit us up. We might have a spot for you here on our platform.
This could be you.
Well, hopefully better than this.
There goes our light.
There goes the light. Way to go, Peanut. But again, we appreciate everyone for tuning in to another episode of Birds, Beers, and BS. We'll probably be back in a couple weeks, maybe before the draft. If not, we will be recapping the following week after the draft and breaking down all the Eagles selections. So again, make sure you are tuning in and subscribing to our platforms.
Please.
But before we get out of here, again, we want to thank our sponsors of the AT Sports Network.
Thank you.
We like to thank our sponsor, Vinny's Pizza and Restaurant. They are located off of Iroquois Trail in Allentown. You can order takeout or delivery at 610-395-2300 or vinnyspizzapa.com. Vinny's Pizza and Restaurant in Allentown serves Italian cuisine, including pasta, burgers, sandwiches, and much more. If you want a great night out with your friends or your family and you're in the area in the Lehigh Valley, check them out. It's a great atmosphere for family, a great atmosphere for kids. They do have vegetarian options. They have game day specials, free parking, have TVs. If you want to go in and watch some games, make sure to check out check Vinny's Pizza and Restaurant out and tell Caesar that the Birds, Beers, and BS and the AT Sports Network sent you over. We'd like to also thank our new sponsor of the AT Sports Network, our friends at Stuff to the Grills in Allentown. You can order by calling 484-274-6760 or visit stufftothegrills.com for a full menu and their weekly specials. Right now it's Lent. Right now, today, Friday, they have a fish special. So make sure you're following them also on Facebook. They post a lot of their specials, daily specials, weekly specials. They're great food. It looks phenomenal. And again, like I said, my personal favorite, if you're a fan of the Permane Brothers type of sandwich, they have their own version of that. It is incredible. They also have delicious desserts. Their cheesecakes, their giant cookies. It's absolutely incredible. Again, Stuff to the Grills, offering a unique twist on a traditional sandwich shop. Homemade hot and cold sandwiches, salads, appetizers, baked goods, and much more. You can, again, go to their website, stufftothegrills.com for a full menu and specials, or you can order by calling 484-270-6760. They, again, are located in the Old Town Shopping Center off the Iroquois Trail, considered in Allentown, both them and Vinny's. We appreciate their support. And, again, support our sponsors, help supports us. So if you're ever looking for a way to support us, Go to their shops, check them out, check out their menu, check out their food, order something. If your wife doesn't feel like cooking, stop on by, grab some food. Your wife will you get brownie points because you bring home food for the wife and the kids. She doesn't have to cook, and then you're helping support local business and help supporting us. So if you stop on by, tell both of those establishments that AT Sports Network sent you on by, that you heard it from us. We would greatly appreciate it.
Yes, we would.
Also, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Triple Threat Wagers. You can follow them on Twitter at Triple Threat Bet. Again, no I in the triple. And you can visit them online at triplethreatwagers.com. I'd like to thank our friends at Symbol.com. You can sign up using our promo code AAT Sports. And then we'd like to thank also our sponsor, StatementGames.com, for a fun, free twist on fantasy sports. It's free to play, free to enter, so make sure to check them out. And again, another way to support the AT Sports Network brand, go to our website, atsportsnetwork.com. We have a lot of latest articles on all the latest news in Philadelphia sports, Union, Eagles, Phillies, now that the Philly season is up and away. So make sure you check out our website, check them out, boost our views up. It really helps us. And you can also get our gear at atsportsnetwork.com/shop. Peanut's wearing one of our great designs that you can find on the AT Sports Network. And it's not just shirts. No. There's hats, there's koozies, there's masks. Let us know what you might be looking at. I'm sure we can look it up on the website. We have a special website where we can order or post up certain designs on certain products. So if
it's almost grill season, they got aprons, they got all kinds of stuff, man.
So again, make sure that if you want to sport the AT Network's gear or the Birds, Beers, and BS gear, go to atsportsnetwork.com/shop. Again, thank you for everyone tuning in. It's been a great show as always.
Yes.
You can follow me on Twitter at Jeff Warner NFL. Follow him at Party Doll Dave 1, even though he doesn't tweet.
P-double-D, brah.
But again, we'll be back in a couple weeks, hopefully talking some more Philadelphia Eagles, talking some NFL draft, as the NFL draft is just 3 weeks away. And again, as we say to end every show here on Birds and BS, drink 'em if you got 'em.